This be my dear.
Miss Bowers.
Miss Bowers next door.
Ask you about your face today. Okay.
All right, who needs more time on the info sheet? All right, I'm gonna grab some water. Not used to talking this much in one day. Can you what? Go ahead. All right, so are we done with the info sheets? Do you find the board? Marilyn, you're gonna have to find a way to be quiet. You're not done. All right, tell me when you are. And I'll come back and you can just bring it to me. You done, Adrian? And any of you who are not done, just let me know when you are done and I'll either come back or you can bring it to me. All right, we're going to run through some highlights and expectations, and then yes, I am teaching today, and yes, you will have homework tonight. Okay, so you were worried about that. Welcome to chemistry. For those of you who have talked to your friends, some of you will enjoy the class, some of you will not, some of you will like me, some of you will not. All right, I have a couple goals. A, I hope that you will pass and receive a science credit towards graduation. I usually have a pretty high pass rate. I don't know what's going to happen with the exam at the end of the year, so I don't know how that will affect us. And I hope that you become better science students to enjoy class. A little bit about me. I am married. I have two children. One is 14, one's almost 17, so one's a freshman at West this year, and one is a senior at West. So I'm doing the college tour thing and applying for colleges this year, so that's been a new experience for me. If any of you have had seniors who are now in college this year, you know what that's like at home. I do live here in Davidson County. This is my 29th year here at Lexington. With Miss Klein going to the middle school, I am, I think, the most senior member of the staff currently. I do plan currently to retire next year, but who knows, I may not retire. And if you see me with my phone, unless I'm checking the school email, I am probably reading a book. I don't have social media. I don't keep up with social media. So I probably have my nose in a book. I'm currently reading a mystery at the moment. So I have lunch duty, third lunch. So if I'm playing on my phone, I'm reading my book. All right. I need to show you how to get to the website, and I forgot to do that first period. So I need to show them how to do that. Remind me if I forget. All right. Be prompt. This should not be hard for y'all. Particularly given grab and go will probably start, what's today, Monday. I would bet by Thursday. So y'all get a little leeway because the tardy bell rings at what, 10 o'clock? The grab and go bell rings at 10:05. So everybody ought to be on time. If you're later than the grab and go bell, I will mark you late. All right, be polite. Don't talk while I am. Don't talk while other people are asking questions. And bring your stuff to class. That's pretty simple. If you are, I'm going to ask you to stop. If you don't stop, I will call parents. And then we go to lunch detention. Now, if you have second lunch, You can come in here nice and easy. If you have third lunch, I hope you like heat or cold, because unfortunately I have third period planning. And for those of you who don't know what happens to every third period planning teacher, you got to do lunch duty. And if you have third lunch, I'm in the courtyard the entire semester. Okay? Up by the teacher's lounge, but I have lunch duty all semester long. So if you get lunch detention with me, we get to hang out outside.
Hey.
All right? So I put it down there, we're in the courtyard. All right, same thing for tardies. Absolutely nothing's different. I did put in there if you have a doctor's note, don't ask me to do it during my class time. Do that on your own time. Class procedures. There's a pencil sharpener behind, I don't remember your name. Keziah. Behind Keziah, there's an electric pencil sharpener. Feel free to use it. Don't put a lot of colored pencils in there. It will break. All right, trash cans. I have one at the front, and there's one at the back. There's a recycling bin at the back. Don't throw trash in the recycling bin for me to have to fish out. Gum, please don't stick that to anything. That's just gross. I don't mind if you chew gum. Just don't stick it to anything. And water, we have a water fountain on the hallway. Mo asked if she can go refill her bottle. Did you do that?
Yes.
Good. I don't mind if you get water or refill. Just don't, ask to go 30 times in the same class period. All right. If we have a fire drill, which we're apt to do many times during the second period, we go out this door. We stand by ourselves. If you look out the door, there's a big tree right on the way to the central office. We just stand under the tree by ourselves. Chorus is not there. Miss Thornhill's not there. It's just our lonely little class. If we have a tornado drill, I don't know what planning period Miss Rector has, but if she's in there, we're in there, and Miss Thornhill's in there, it's a lot of people crammed into one space. So you're just going to have to be kind and gracious and bend down on the wall and stick your butt in somebody else's face, most likely. We try to do it as kindly as we can and go up the riser so that nobody has their butt in anybody's face. Code E would be to evacuate to the stadium. That's typically a bomb threat. We've not had one of those in years. And then lockdown. Did you have Miss Thornhill last year during lockdown? Okay, I got wiggly. We just sit on the floor in the back science hall on the cabinet. So that's pretty easy. All right. Everybody should be maybe on their third science credit. If you've had earth science and biology, everybody had those too? This is it for you. You can choose that. Not taking any more. I'm done after this one if that's your choice. All right. A lot of schools do like to see a fourth one. You've got anatomy and physiology with Ms. Wicker, forensics with Ms. Wicker if you'd like. We've got 2 AP classes after this one if you'd like. You have options, but if you don't want to, theoretically, you could say, I'm done. Those of you who are sophomores should not say you're done. You should at least do one more. Those of you who are juniors, it doesn't look as bad. But if you're a sophomore, you really should take one more. All right. Grading, tests are 50%. Quizzes are 25. Those of you who've talked to your friends know I quiz a lot. Your first one is Wednesday. All right. Labs are 15. Homework are 10. There's no extra credit of any kind. This is the only thing that's subject to change. Those of you who keep up with policies, the school board is looking at changing the way we do exams. Right now, we have a 25-50% rule that benefits depending on how your exam score comes out. The school board is looking at doing away with that. That's why I put in parentheses up there. It's under review. The school board is looking at changing that to a flat 20%. Okay? Classwork is 80%. The exam is a flat 20. Okay? If they go with that, which they're most likely going to do, then performance is 80, exam is only 20. Okay? It will be a huge difference in the way we do things compared to the way it's been in the past. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Because a lot of people count on that exam to help boost their grade at the end, and that will no longer be there. Supplies, those of you who came to see me, you got this on Thursday. Like I told you, everything's going to come to you with holes punched in it. Your homework sheet tonight will have holes punched in it. So if you're not a through ring batter kind of person, find a way to organize. Have notebook paper every day you come to school. Unless it's a test day, you will take notes or learn something new every day. Pens and pencils of your choice. You need a scientific calculator at home. If you've got a graphing calculator, fabulous. If you've got a Droid, you can download an app. iPhones are not as friendly. Their apps sort of suck. But if you can make it work, knock yourself out. All right, but you need to be able to calculate and calculate correctly. Walmart probably has Texas Instruments on sale for $15 to $20 right now. find a calculator that will work for you at home. If you need to bring it to school for me to show you how to use it, I'd be glad to do that too. Extra help, makeup work, I'm here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. If you have class that you miss and you need to make up a quiz, if it's second lunch, I'm in here. Don't mind. If it's third lunch, sorry. Am I hauling quizzes around doing makeup work in the courtyard on lunch duty? No, I'm not. And I'm sincerely sorry. I wish I still had second period planning, so I was in here both lunches. It was not an issue. But unfortunately, with our lunch duty, I'm not carting papers around with me in the courtyard. All right? It's bad enough I'm eating lunch in the courtyard. So if you have third lunch and you have to do makeup work, I'll be here after school. And I'm here a lot after school. If you get behind, need help, I'm here. Bathroom passes. I only give 3. And it is for the entire semester, not the quarter. That's from now to Christmas. Okay? Bob was looking around like this one was lost her mind. Okay? Now, I've been pregnant twice. I've yet to exceed 3 hall passes. When y'all came in, where was I? Anybody know? I was in the bathroom. I take my 5 minutes and I go to the ladies' room and I come back. I've trained myself to use the bathroom during class change because I can't go during class. I can't leave you unattended. Okay? If I leave you unattended and Miss Curry finds out, I can be written up. This year, it can cost me my final supplemental check in June. Now, I've got 28 full years in. I'm at the ceiling for my pay. After taxes, that's about $630. I'm not getting written up because I decided I need to pay in the middle of class. It's not happening. So I'm going between class change. How many of y'all have a job? Can y'all go to the bathroom whenever you want? Some of you probably can, depending on where you work. But let's say you work at Chick-fil-A, and you're taking orders. Can you stop and tell them, hold up, I gotta go to the bathroom. Y'all wait there, I'll be back. Can you do that? Some of y'all might, but it's not a good place. Okay? Some jobs you just can't go. This happens to be one of them. So, you need to learn how to function within the rules. Some teachers will let you run the hallways. This is not one of those places. Now, let's say you use all 3. This wall is not going to keep you from going to the bathroom. After the 3, you can go, but there's a consequence. What's the consequence? Lunch detention. 10 minutes. It's only 10 minutes of lunch detention. Now, let's say, I remember Mo's name. Okay, let's say that Mo says, well, I've stayed for lunch detention today. And she doesn't stay. Can she go to the bathroom the next day?
No.
Not until she does what? Lunch detention. Now, as soon as she serves her lunch detention, she has her bathroom privilege back. But if it takes her 3 weeks to serve her lunch detention, then what? It takes her 3 weeks to get her lunch or her bathroom privilege back. As soon as you serve, you get your privilege back. It's that simple. Okay? Now, let's say Mo's like, I ain't got to go to the bathroom, Miss Wall. Is there any perk for not going to the bathroom? At the end of the semester, each one you have left is worth 5 points on your last test grade. So if you keep all 3, it's 15 points on your last test grade. Okay? It's up to you, though. I'm not keeping you from going to the bathroom. But you only get 3 free ones. Okay? After that, it's detention. Everybody got it? Now, let's talk about the hall pass system. Mr. Owl wants us to emphasize. So, you remember those old nasty vests? Well, I had my original ones that I threw in the trash can this year. Those things got drug around, dropped in, I swear it probably came back wet. They got drug around, put on the toilets, God knows where. I wouldn't even touch them. I picked them up with tweezers and dropped them in the trash can. Because I don't know where those things had been in the 5 years that we've been using them. It may have been longer than 5 years. It was a while. One I could take home to wash. And you should have seen the brown stuff that came out of that where they'd been dropped on the floor in the restrooms. But the other one, Miss Thornhill said, you know, Wall, when they said they looked like prisoner vests, we need to decorate them. So she made me decorate it so it looked like that little ugly bee up there. So it has blue striping on it. Yeah, it's no good bee. All right, so it had blue striping, and she made me put a cone on it so it looked like the tail sticking out of it that's hidden by the artwork. So I couldn't put it in the washing machine. So, again, I threw that thing in the trash can with tweezers. So So Mr. Owl came up with these lovely plastic ones here and have our room on them. By the way, if we lose it, we have to pay $3. I'm gonna be really pissed if I have to pay $3 to replace this. So there's only one out, the other one's put away. All right, so when you go to the bathroom, you must wear it around your neck. Okay? Nice and easy, around the neck. Why? A, it won't get lost because this wall's not paying $3. It doesn't get dirty. You lean over the sink, it's not getting wet, it's not getting in the soap or the water, and then it would take away the unsanitary parts. Sounds a little graphic and gross, but for the guys, it's not getting in the urinal. It's clearly up here. It's not getting down here by any private parts. For the ladies who sit down, it's not going to get in the toilet. It's not laying on the floor. It's not going to, depending on how you lean forward or around on the toilet, it's not going to get anywhere. I hate that new intercom system. We hear blah, blah, blah all day long. Now, you understand what I'm saying about sanitary? It's hanging around your neck. It can't get in anything gross. Don't put it in your pockets. It goes around your neck. If I see you leave and it's not around your neck, I'm going to call you back and you're not going. Everybody got it? Okay. And then hang it back on the handy dandy hook. I'm not dealing with Mr. Owl. All right. Visitors, we get them. You know, mine and Miss Thornhill's area was remodeled, so they always pop through. They've already been through today. Make sure you demonstrate what you know, answer their questions, all that good stuff. Don't laugh at any people who come in the room. We often get folks to come in and collect our recycling, so because I don't ever remember putting mine in the hallway. Be nice. Dress code, I have to read this to you verbatim. They've even brought me a sheet to sign that said I did. All right, so we have dress code too, by the way, so don't feel like we're picking on y'all. You may not have bare, midriffs, or tops. Halter tops, off-the-shoulder tops, and spaghetti straps that show cleavage are not allowed. Short shorts or low-cut pants that are revealing or show undergarments are not allowed. Swimwear or tube tops are not allowed. Why anybody would think they could wear that, I will never understand. Guys, you may not wear muscle shirts. Pajamas and slippers with fuzz or lace are not allowed. By the way, slippers with that fuzz stuff will pick up roach eggs on the floor. All right, pants that expose undergarments are sagging and bagging. And leggings without a proper length or covering are not allowed, meaning it should come to the fingertips, okay? So if you wear leggings, I'm going to check to make sure your shirt is down. Now, the other three things they've bulleted are facial piercings that become a safety issue for other students or staff. I cannot for the life of me understand how that would work. No, that's listed separately. So I don't know exactly what kind of face piercing would fit in that category. I guess that would be a possibility. Maybe it wasn't attached and it flew off. All right, socks or sock-like footwear without shoes or slippers. So I guess don't wear the socks that have the spots for your toes without shoes. And shoes that have open heels or without straps, including slides and flip-flops. Now, I didn't notice anybody who made a good example at first period. I had somebody with Birkenstocks with straps on the back and sandals with straps on the back in first period. But y'all all got on tennis shoes. Anybody who's got the right kind of shoes to use as an example. My first period folks back. Now on the back of it, no sunglasses or hats in the building. Now on the back of the policy, it goes on to talk about no shorts with socks that come to the bottom of the shorts. I don't know anybody who would do that, but it says not to. No spikes or chains on your clothing. No head coverings of any kind. Hats, visors, bandanas, caps, hairnets, or scarves, unless you have it for a medical or religious reason. No monikers or gang markings. No jewelry, buckles with gang symbols or initials other than your own. No visible tattoos, piercings, or eyebrow cuttings that are gang or prison related or obscene. No steel-toed shoes or boots. And student backpacks, notebooks, folders, or other carrying bags that display graffiti, obscene symbols, signs, slogans, alcohol, drugs, tobaccos, or degrading depictions. Questions? Right. Now, I put up there, those are the things that are going to cause the greatest issues. The only thing I left out, because I just didn't think of it when I was doing this, are the jeans. You know, and I mentioned I do have 2 high schoolers, so I really should have caught that. You're okay if your holes stop where? At your knees. If you've got holes that are above, and my daughter has them too, she got popped as a 9th grader at West. So now she buys the kind that either stop at her knees or it has the backing. And she was lidded when she got busted for dress code too. You know, and I let her sit in ISS. She hadn't worn them since. All right. So if I have to choose between y'all getting thrown under the bus and me getting thrown under the bus, who am I choosing? Every day of the week, it's going to be y'all. Okay? I told you, I'm not getting written up because I didn't follow the dress code rule. And the school board is all over us about following the policy. All right? And enforcing it. They don't care which policy we have. They don't care if it's this policy. They don't care if it's the SMOD policy. They don't care. They want it enforced. So that's what Ms. Curry expects of us, is to enforce the dress code policy. So it's not personal for me. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm never going to hold a grudge. I'm never going to hold it against you the next day when you come back. But if you come in with flip-flops, I'm going to send you out for dress code. If you wear holes up to your panty line, you come in with the tank top with spaghetti straps, I'm going to ask you to go get fixed. Okay? Now, how often they send you home for that, I can't say. I don't know. That's not my problem. My problem is only sending you out. All right, cell phones. Don't use them. Don't make me take your cell phone. A, I don't want them. I don't want to be responsible for them. And B, they're yours. Just keep them put up. All right, if you have headphones, which is on the next slide, keep those put up too, particularly if you have AirPods. That way people don't take your stuff. All right, if you have a dead one and you need to charge, yes, I am a local electricity hub. Okay, if you need to charge over here towards Alley on the back side of the counter, if you need to siphon some electricity, I usually don't get bent out of shape as long as you're not doing it every single day. And it's not like Jonathan has it plugged in right here behind him so he can pull it out and check it every 2 seconds. Okay, if it's Jonathan's and it's way back here, I don't get upset with siphoning off the electricity. Okay? Headphones, like I said, unless we're using the computer, we're not going to need them, so they shouldn't even be out. They shouldn't be dangling off your neck. And the last thing is, this is a brand new facility 3 years ago. They redid mine in the Thornhills room. The bulk of the $300,000 was spent here. So please, please, please be kind to the facilities so that when I leave, some new teacher who gets it has a nice facility to come to. All right. This building was built in '69. If you remember Miss Bowers, Miss Wickers, or I guess it was Miss Bostic's room, they're not nearly as nice. Okay, they're really run down and beat up. This is a beautiful lab facility. So please be kind to it. Don't throw trash in the sinks. There are 2 trash cans. Be kind to the place. Don't drag the scales across the top. There's already scratch marks where they put the desks up here on top of the counters when they mop the floors. Okay? The tennis balls have to come off the desks at the end of the year to get all the hair off the tennis balls, or all of the hair and weed dries in the wax. And yes, I do that personally. So then I make my kids put all the tennis balls back on. Okay? Any questions? Oh, and that is a shower at the back. Don't pull it. It's a 2-inch water pipe. It sprays water out about 5 feet wide. You will get wet. Okay? And I will write you up.
Why do you have
That, chemical spills or fire. All right, if you will, find your supplies, notebook, paper, whatever it is you need. And so that we don't have to stop and do this in a little while, grab a calculator if you want one. Anybody else have an info sheet? All right. Where's the iScanner? There it is. Come on, baby. Detect the borders. What do you mean not found? What am I doing wrong? That'll work. Oh, you know what y'all forgot? I just scanned the homework, so it reminded me. What did I forget to do? Show y'all the what? How to get to the website. All right. Now, I went to the Lexington City Schools. All right. So go to the high school's website. Now, once you're at the high school website, you can do it two ways. You can go to Our People and either, I hate this mouse. Once you go to Our People, you can either go to the staff directory and look for me under staff, or the easiest way to do it is to go to science. Now, once you go to science, my site is hyperlinked at KWAL. Okay? Now, at KWAL, everything is active on here and it's all updated, but the only page that most of y'all are going to want is the homework page. Now, chemistry and physical science, obviously y'all are chemistry. So click on chemistry. And right now it just says conversion worksheet because I've not put the link to the YouTube video or the homework sheet up there, which I just scanned into my phone. So I will be putting that up there at the start of third period. All right, so I'll put in the video and the sheet on there after a while. Okay? Any questions?
Yes.
How to get to it?
Yes,
Yes.
that's my question.
Okay. So if I go back, all right. All right, so I'm on the Lexington City webpage. Do you know how to get to Lexington City's webpage?
Yes,
Okay, so go to schools and go to Lexington Senior High. Okay, so you're on the school webpage, and then you want to go to Our People. And then you can either use staff directory or go to departments. I think it's easier to go to departments and just go to science. And then it's hyperlinked so that you can click on Ms. Wall's website. Okay? And then it comes up. And then the homework tab is the one you're going to want. And once you click on it, the calendar's there. So like, I think I could still go back. Why is it moving? Okay, I'm moving the mouse, that's why. doing that.
Click the scroll.
I hate this mouse. I have the hardest time with it. I just want to get to the arrows.
Click the scroll wheel.
Click the scroll wheel. Thank you.
Gotcha.
That's July. Here's June, May. So if I go here to May. All right. This is what it would look like typically. Tells you the homework, and then it's hyperlinked. It'll take you to the YouTube video, and I'm not going to let this play for long. So there's the opening. They're working. So if you were watching this, I would tell you
Now,
to
this is a reminder, if you have any old makeup work,
fast forward it to where you need to be. Don't, that's probably a quiz. Just fast forward to where you need to be, because you're not going to need an hour and a half. Okay?
Wait, so you want to add keys to the side that we,
Got it? But that's how it's going to work. All right, let's move on. That's not what I meant to click. I'm mouse challenged, by the way, in case you didn't know that. All right, so we're going to talk about measurement today. All right, measurement is a unit of defined size. So, as an example, if I said 1 foot, what would you guys all tell me a foot was equal to? Everybody knows that. Okay? That's what I mean about a unit of defined size. You guys learned that somewhere in elementary school. An easier one that everybody would have learned probably in kindergarten is a dozen. What's a dozen equal to? 12. If your parents took a dozen cupcakes to kindergarten class and there were only 9 cupcakes in the box, would you know you'd been cheated? Yes. Okay? Everybody knew that when you went to kindergarten. You knew a dozen was 12. Okay? Now, we're going to look at SI units today. All right? SI stands for System International. Or the International System of Units. It's accepted by scientists around the world. Okay? We're going to look at that in metrics and how to convert them. All right, have I given everybody enough time to catch up? Yes? No? Anybody need more time? All right, if you do, you need to tell me, otherwise I'm going to go on. All right. Let's do length, mass, time, temperature, and amount of substance. All right. So tell me what's a length unit, you guys know. Stay out of English units. English units would be things like feet, yards, miles, inches. Those are English.
Meter.
Meter, all right? Meter is the SI unit. So, can you give me a common unit that's a derivative of meter that we might use? For example, if we wanted to measure the length of the pen that I'm currently using, this is a meter stick. It's way too big. So, what's something smaller than meter that we might use as a common unit?
Centimeter.
Yes. Okay. Give me another one besides centimeter.
Decimeter.
Can I get one more? All right. For mass. Anybody give me a unit that's a mass unit? What? Ounces is good, except that it's English. We use it here in the States.
Gram.
All right. Gram. Is gram the SI or the common unit? What do we think? That's what most people think. And gram is actually the common unit. We need to put a prefix on it to be the SI unit. It's the most missed question when I ask about SI units. Any guesses as to what prefix we need to put on it to be SI?
Milligram.
What'd you say back there? That's right. Is that Xavier? Kilogram makes it the SI unit. Gram is the common unit. All right, for time. Give me some time units. I hear second, minute, hour. All right, one of those is the SI units. Any guess? Second's the SI unit. So minute and hour, we'll put over here as the common unit. All right, so, hey. All right, so for temperature, what unit are we going to put for temperature? All right, degrees what? Celsius, Fahrenheit, Kelvin. Any guesses as to which one's the SI unit? Kelvins. All right. So Kelvin, Celsius, and Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit is the only English unit we will use, and I use that one only because it's so common. All right, and the last one for the amount of substance will be mole. All right, everybody got it? All right. Anybody need more time? All right, what do we remember about metrics? You remember anything about metrics? All right, hang on to that thought because we're going to talk about that with a baseline. Do you remember a sentence that somebody would have taught you to help you remember the units for metrics? I had one who almost had the full sentence of the first period. No? Nobody? If I said it starts with the word king. Somebody can.
King Henry died drinking chocolate milk.
Yeah. Hey, hang on a second. All right, so King Henry died by. Anybody else remember this from elementary school? All right, I put in the word by. Drinking, chocolate, milk. Now, the reason I put in the word by is because I use it for the baseline. Some people don't. Some elementary school teachers use the word by, some don't. It depends on who you have. Now, can anybody tell me what the prefixes are now that, is it Jason? Jason refreshed our memory on the sentence. What does King stand for?
Kilo.
Kilo. Okay. He gave us the sentence in the first one. Somebody else out there. What's Henry stand for? I know you know. You and Charlie have answered a lot. Let's see if I can get some other voices out there. It's like 26 or 27 of us in here when everybody's here. Surely somebody else has something in their brains that they know they're just shy. You don't get shot, hammered, slapped, ridiculed if you guess and get the wrong answer. I promise. Use your voice. I feel certain somebody else out there knows an answer. Yes, Allie.
Is that Hector?
Hecto is correct. All right, what about died? Anybody? Yes, I know you know. Somebody, hold on. Just go grab my seating chart. It becomes roulette like it did first period. Everybody's like, please don't call me. How can I shrink myself in my chair? See, I'm a plus size gal. I can't shrink myself. How about Vanessa? She's like, dang, it had to be me. Any ideas? I'll take anything up there. Huh? Desi would be the drinking. I already told y'all that's the baseline. All right, so there's Desi. All right, how about Rachel?
Is the C1 same?
Yep. How about Jaylene? Yep. All right, so anybody out there got died? All right, Charlie, go ahead.
Isn't it Decker?
Yep.
So the baseline is after die?
What?
Is the baseline after die?
It's the bye. All right, so you remember when I told Charlie a while ago to hang on to what he said? All right, so what goes on the baseline?
The meter.
The meters, the liters, and the what was the other one?
Grams.
Yes. Okay. Those are the things that are going to go on the baseline. Liters, meters, and grams. Okay. There are other things that can go on the baseline also, but right now that's all we're going to put there. So, thinking about what you remembered from when you did this in elementary school, who's bigger and who's smaller? Who's the biggest?
Kilo.
And then who's smaller?
Miller.
All right. So we know that as we go down, it gets smaller. All right. So all we need now are the abbreviations because we're not going to write these words out all the time. So what is the abbreviation for K or kilo? We use a K. All right. Hecto, we use a what? For deca and deci. Both of those have D's at the beginning. So how are we going to differentiate between the deca and the deci? Any ideas? The last letter. So which one gets the last letter? Yes. Deca is D-A and deci is just D. And I will tell you, sometimes books will use deca as D-E-K-A. Means the same thing. Depends on the author and which one they prefer. DECA, I think, is more common, but DEKA is also used. All right, centi is C, and milli is M. So if you see something that says CG, how would you read CG? Centigram. If you see DAM, what is that? Decameter. And KL would be what? Kiloliters. Everybody okay with the abbreviations? All right, that's really all you have to know about metrics. We're not going to take a lot of time to do this because the purpose of this is for you to be able to use the factor label method. All right, have I given everybody enough time with what's on the chart? That's a really pretty calculator. All right, everybody caught up? All right, so we're going to use the factor label method this year. It's also called dimensional analysis or unit cancellation. Doesn't matter what name you give it, it's all the same. This is the only time all semester we will write it down. Okay? Step number 1. Draw a chart. It's often referred to as a T-chart because it looks like a T. Number 2. Put the given data on the top line. Okay, put the given data on the top line. Number 3, put the unit you do not want on the bottom. Put the unit you do want on top. Put a 1 next to the biggest unit. And number 6, fill in the remaining place. In this particular chart, we're going to count places. Get up here out of the way. And I'll let y'all catch up. All right, we caught up? I need to wait. Where are we at? We're good? All right. So let's say, and some of you will remember moving decimals at this point. All right. And you may prefer that, but it's important that you learn how to draw the charts because right now the sections are going to be 2 sections, but we're going to gravitate towards 4 and 5 section charts as we cruise through the semester. Okay. And it won't involve metrics at all beyond today. All right. Suppose that we have 45 milliliters and we want to change that to deciliters. All right, so let's say that this is our problem. All right, some of y'all are probably very good at moving decimals. That's why I was terrible at it in elementary school. I could never remember whether I went right or left. Still can't half the time. All right, so the first step is to draw a chart. Now, the T-chart is shorthand for math class. So in math class, you guys draw things like this. What do the parentheses mean in math class? They mean multiply. This straight down line, this vertical line, means multiply. It's shorthand for parentheses. Okay? This horizontal line right here means what?
Divide.
This horizontal line means divide. So this is shorthand for this. Everybody good with that? So if the numbers are side by side, we're going to do what with the numbers? If they're side by side, we're multiplying. If one's on top and one's on the bottom, we're going to do what with them? Everybody got it? Okay. So, step 2. The given data goes on top. What is our given data? 45 what? Milliliters. Right now, we're not going to put anything there. If we have a unit that has a fraction like grams over milliliters, the grams would go on top and the milliliters would go on the bottom. Okay? We're a little ahead of where first period was this morning because we had to hand out schedules and I had to wait on a few people to get here who were lost. So we might get to that in this class because we're, like I said, ahead. So what goes on the bottom? The unit we don't want. So what unit do we not want? What are we trying to get rid of? We're trying to get rid of the milliliters. We have milliliters and we want it to go away. So milliliters is going to go on the bottom. What's the reason we're putting milliliters on the bottom? What's the purpose of that? So it'll do what in math class?
So we can divide by the, and then it gets a baseline.
So we'll do what? Cancel out is the word I wanted. Okay? So if it's on top and on the bottom, it'll cancel out and go away. All right? So from there, the unit we do want goes on top. So what unit are we trying to go to? So we're putting deciliters on the top. All right? Everybody okay with steps 1 to 4? All right, so using our King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Who is bigger? Deca or Millie? I heard it, but is everybody okay with looking and saying Deca or Millie? Who's bigger? Deca, right? So since Deca is bigger, it gets a 1. It doesn't matter if it's on the top or the bottom of the chart. That's irrelevant. Whoever's bigger gets a 1. Now, the final piece is to count the places between Deca and Millie. It does not matter if you go from the bottom to the top or the top to the bottom. All you're doing is counting places. So Deca to the baseline to Deci, Deci to Centi, and Centi to Millie. How many places did I travel? I traveled 4. Now, I didn't say this a second ago, but the metrics system is base what? Anybody remember? It's base 10. Okay, metrics are base 10. So, where's my problem go? There it is. All right, so if it's base 10, and I went 4 places, how do I write my number in?
0.0045.
I just have to write 4 zeros and put a 1 in front of it. Now, the reason I like the factor label method or this particular system is I don't have to know how many decibels. I don't have to know if it's a bigger number or a smaller number. If I always put the 1 with the biggest unit, all I have to do is count the places and put a 1 in front of it. So there were how many places? 4. So 4 zeros, and I put a 1 there. So how do I calculate this in my calculator? 45 times 1 divided by 10,000. Now, do I really have to multiply by 1? No. So it's 45 divide 10,000. So somebody tell me if I did my math right.
Yep.
Okay. Questions about how to do that? All right. So if I do this one. Yes, ma'am. You want me to go back?
Oh, my phone. Only put 10.
Can you show me what you punched in? But you only did 1,000 and not 10,000. And while we're in class, do me a favor. Get a regular calculator. Don't use that one at home. That way, Ms. Curry doesn't think you're using a cell phone while you're in here, and I don't think you're checking your messages. All right, so if we have 13 hectograms to grams, what do? We do what? Draw a T-chart. Okay? All right, what goes on the bottom? Okay? What goes on the top? Well, grams goes on top. All right, is anybody struggling with that? What we don't want goes on the bottom, what we do want goes on top. All right? Who's bigger? There's hecto. Where's the G? Baseline, right? So, given that, where's the 1 going? Now, notice in this one, 1 was on the top. This one, 1's on the bottom. It doesn't matter where the 1 goes. The 1 goes with the biggest unit. Whether it's the top or the bottom is irrelevant. Everybody with us on that? Okay. How many spaces? Hecto to deca. Deca to the baseline would be 2 spaces. Are we okay with how to count? So we have 100. 13 times 100 is 1,300 grams. Now, did everybody notice that in both answers, I included a unit on my answer? Without a unit, you lose points on your answer. I have known science teacher who just mark it wrong. I don't mark it wrong. I just take points off. Questions about that? Anybody? Are we okay with it? Do you need to do another one, or you feel pretty good about it? This is where you have to tell me. I know how to do it. I need feedback.
Pretty good.
Feel pretty good. So we're comfortable trying on our own, and I'll just wander amongst you and see who needs my help. You need another one. Okay, Mo wants another one. All right, so if we take 747, what I used last time? I used grams, liters. Let's use meters this time. All right. So what do I do first, Mo? Do what? All right, so what do I have? Okay, so what do I put at the bottom? Okay, so what goes at the bottom? Okay, what goes at the top? Yeah. Okay. So King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. All right, so tell me who's bigger. I gave you one that's tricky, and I did it intentionally. Okay, because it's a common mistake. And that probably wasn't nice of me. But I did it because lots of people make this mistake. And you're not by yourself here. So I probably got more than just you. Where does this sit in the chart? Most people say at the bottom because it's M. And they look here and they think it's right there, right? But what does this mean? That's a milli, right? So how many letters does it have to be a milli? Has to have 2 letters. And it only has 1 M. So this means meter. So where does a meter sit? The baseline. So this is here, and deci is here. So who's bigger? Meter. So that goes there. Does everybody see what Mo did wrong? Because it's a common mistake. Happens all the time on quiz. All right, so how many spaces between meter and deci? 1. So we put 1 0 here and a 1 there. And so how do you calculate? Exactly. So other than you not recognizing that was meter, everything you said was correct. You didn't do anything wrong. Okay? I think you got it. Anybody else? All right. All right, do those 3 real quick. And I'll roam amongst you and see if there's anybody who wants to ask me something that they don't want to ask in front of the group. I've already got a kid in ISS. Are you kidding me? Hmm. Oh, it did?
Yep.
So Meryl. All right, who's got a question for me? I'm not opening 8 zillion pictures without furniture, otherwise I don't need those. Anybody have a question? You think that's a problem? Okay. Anybody else have a question? Yeah. So you would leave the one there. So the one filled that space. So you might want to write it in the middle so you're not 10 units up there. And then the 2 spaces being 2 zeros here with 1 in front of it. Okay? Anybody else? Yeah. How did you go to bed last night, James? So what time did you go to bed last night? Mm-hmm. Which problem you working? Draw chart. Have you drawn it?
Yeah.
So. What units on the top? MM. You got 34.5 MM, so you need MM to be inside that number. And that means MM has to go on the bottom. This here has to go here so it'll cancel out. The unit that you're going to goes on the top line. Now, who's bigger, DM or MM? So put 1 next to the unit that is bigger. How many spaces between DM and MM? 1, 2. So that means you're going to put 2 zeros there, 2 places. So this times that, divided by that. Anybody else have a question? Yes, because it doesn't matter if you multiply by 1. So you're just dividing by 100. 34.5. All right, who else has a question? Anybody? All right, let's talk about how to do this. I'm just going to write them up here. A lot of times I work them, but at this stage, these are pretty easy, so I just tend to stick these on the board. Oops. A little crazy with my hand there. Did I do them right? Yes or no? Y'all Don't ever let me put something on the board that's wrong, by the way. I'm not one of those people who's gonna be offended to be told that I did something wrong. I'd rather you tell me I did it wrong than leave it on the board wrong. Okay, so is it correct? All right. Anybody have a question on any of the three? Other than my child who slept through what we did. Any questions? All right. Let's talk derived units. Remember, I'm recording this, so you can always go back and rewatch. All right, tell me what a derived unit is. What does it mean to be derived in English class? To come from, okay? So a derived unit is a unit that comes from a formula. Now, just to illustrate this, we're going to use area as an illustration. And then we're going to do volume and density because that's our creed. So, as an illustration, tell me what you remember about the formula for area. What's the formula? Yeah. Area equals length times width. So, if we had a nice easy square or rectangle that you learned about in, I don't know, my best guess is 2nd or 3rd grade, and you learned that the sides were 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. All right, I remember my daughter was in, can't remember if it was kindergarten or 1st grade, and they kept telling me she had to know that was a special rectangle. It's like, what? Okay, just call that thing a square? They're like, no, it's a special rectangle. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. So anyways, you got to find the area of it. What's the area? 16 what? Okay, we're warm. So we would all say that this is 4 centimeters times 4 centimeters. And we have 16 correct. And you have centimeters correct. And that's pretty close, but it's not right yet.
1.6 decimeters.
Nope. I heard it back there. Got to square it. Okay? Because just like in math class, if you say an x times an x, what happens when you say x times x? It's squared. Okay? Y'all must be a riot in math class. All right? So when you multiply x times x, it becomes squared. So in science class, when you multiply a centimeter times a centimeter, it becomes squared. So whenever you see a squared in science class, a square tells us that it's an area unit. Okay? Now, just like we did a few moments ago when we talked about SI and common units, we want to figure out the SI unit for derived units. So, we know that it's length times width, right? So, what's the SI unit for length? Okay. What's the SI unit for width? Okay. And so what do you get when you say a meter times a meter?
Meter squared.
That's right. So the SI unit for area is a meter squared. Now, a meter squared is huge because that would be a meter up by a meter that way. Okay? That's a huge unit. So we don't use meter squared very often because it's huge. So what are a couple common units we might use instead of meter squared?
Decimeter, centimeter.
All right, what do you need to do to them? What'd you say, Jason?
Divide them by 10 every time that you told me.
You could use all of them, decimeter, millimeter, and centimeter. What do you need to do to them? Square them. So you're going to write them as decimeter squared, centimeter squared, and millimeter squared. All of the units are fine. They just have to be squared. Okay? Doesn't matter which one you pick. They got to be squared. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, we all caught up, or do I need to wait? Now, we're not going to do anything with area till, I don't know, after 12 weeks when we get to the gas laws and we're studying pressure. So, we're going to do something with volume and density this week. So, what's the formula for volume? Is what? Volume equals length times width times height. So, tell me the SI unit for volume. Okay, what's the formula? Okay, so what's the SI unit for length? For width? For height?
Meters cubed.
There you go. Meters cubed is the SI unit. Okay? So, just like with area, it would be huge. So if we have a meter up, a meter over, and a meter that way, all right? I generally drink Pepsi or water. Those are my two drinks of choice. All right? I really like Pepsi, but I shouldn't. And then water. Now, if I went to the store and tried to pick up a meter cubed of Pepsi, I ain't picking it up. I need a forklift. All right? I don't even think Ms. Bowers can pick that up. So this way and that way. So I pick on her all the time about her exercise. So if we go to a common unit, think some volume units you've seen that are metric, not English. All right, what are some metric units you've seen? What? Liters. What else? No ounces.
Deciliters.
She said what?
Deciliters.
Deciliters are fine. We will not use those, but I'll write them.
Milliliters.
Milliliters we will use.
Kiloliters.
We won't use them. Those are huge. Anybody ever heard of centimeters cubed? Anybody heard of that unit? Yes, no? No? Anybody ever take the Allied Health class? Nobody? That's 2 classes in a row I'm batting 0 on. Huh. All right. So, a milliliter is equal to a centimeter cubed. These are the same unit. If you've taken the Allied Health class, sometimes they talk about cc, which is another way to write centimeter cubed. Centimeter cubed means the same thing as cm3, okay? It's one and the same, which is why I always ask that question, because a lot of times they'll write it as cc, which is centimeter, and then the second c is cubed, all right? We write it as cm3. So they mean the same thing, okay? It's the same unit. Means the same thing. They're equal. And we're going to convert between the two. All right. Everybody caught up? Now, let's say we go back to what we were doing. And we want to convert 14.7 millimeters cubed to centimeters cubed. Now, how is this different from what we just did? Okay. Now, to make this clear, these are both cubed because we're going to learn how to do 2 types. Both cubed and only one's cubed. Okay? Both cubed and only one cubed. So, you do this just like what you did a few moments ago, and we're going to add one new step. So, starting with what you have here, 14.7 millimeters cubed goes on top. What goes on the bottom? Millimeters cubed. What goes on top? centimeters cubed. All right, who's bigger? Centimeters cubed, according to Jason. He's correct. Now, if we look at our King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, now you'll find that I'll write that 9 times out of 10. I don't know how many of you have ever talked about your learning styles. How many of y'all know your visual? Anybody ever done it? Anybody know your auditory? Okay, some of you might know your kinesthetic. You like hands-on. All right, Miss Wall is a combination of visual and auditory. I am heavy visual. So I will write everything down. Okay? I am a auditory but heavy visual learner. I like to see it. All right? So when I draw that stuff out to the side, that's because a lot of it is my learning style, and I know that about myself. So I'm always double checking myself to make sure I don't do it wrong. But if you don't need to write all that out to the side on your paper, it is cool. Now, when I assign homework tonight, if I want to check homework tomorrow, can you bring me in a piece of paper that only has answers written on it? Because what am I going to assume? Now, it's very easy for you to, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I probably shouldn't grade homework, but it's still the school-wide grading policy that I'm supposed to have some form of homework in your overall grade, so I do it. Most of y'all will probably do it yourself, but some of y'all will say, hey, I didn't have time. Shoot me a picture of your homework, and we'll give it to your friends so that you can copy it. I can't stop that stuff. Will it affect your overall grading here over time? It could, particularly if you're struggling. The more you practice, the better your grade will be in the end. That's just the way chemistry works, okay? But you can't just give me an answer. But that's why I write that stuff out to the side, in case you're wondering, why is that stupid woman still writing that stuff on the side? That's because that's my learning style. The more you know about your own learning style, the better you will be as you cruise through high school and college. So, centimeters to millimeters. How many spaces do we have? So I'm putting 1 0 and a 1. So, has anything been different yet? No. Here's the piece that's different. If both units are cubed, okay? If both units are cubed, cube the numbers. Now, you don't cube the given data. So that 14.7, we're not touching. You're cubing the numbers you put in. So what numbers do we put in? The 1 and the 10. So we're cubing the 1 and we're cubing the 10. Okay? We're cubing the 1 and the 10. So, does everybody know how to cube the 10 on their calculator? Okay, if you forgot and don't want to ask, all right, it's that up caret key and then 10. Whoops. Stupid here. Let me fix that. It's 10 up caret 3. So, 14.7, do you need to say times 1?
No.
No, because 1 raised to the third is what? 1. So 14.3 divide 10 up caret to the third, and you're going to get an answer of 0.0147. If Miss Wall did the math right in her head. Somebody check my math.
0.0147.
Okay. And centimeters cubed. Questions? So if both units are cubed, you cube the numbers. Now, what happens if both units are not cubed? Okay. We okay on that one? Now, suppose we have 14.5 milliliters, and you're going to centimeters cubed. What do you do now?
Cube.
What do you do now? Who did I hear? What did you say? Who are you? Natalie, what'd you say, Natalie? You can. We can draw the table.
Same unit, so it would just be 14.5.
These two units are the same. So the answer is going to be 14.5 centimeters cubed. Now, if you're Natalie and you wanted to draw the table, you can. Okay, I wouldn't, but you can. And you would have written milliliter, centimeters cubed, 1 and 1. Now, the reason I would say I wouldn't draw the table is because when people draw the table, they want to look at who's bigger, who's smaller, and they look at that centimeter and milliliter, and they're automatically who's bigger. Centimeter, and then they want to count the spaces between centi and milli, and I almost always wind up with something that looks like this, which is wrong, okay? Which is why I hesitate to say draw the table. But as long as you can recognize they're the same, and you want to put ones there, that table is perfectly legit, okay? But you can't put that 1 and that 10 there because that's not correct, okay? Those units are the same. Everybody with me on that? All right, you have to recognize that milliliter and centimeters cubed are the same. That's where the challenge comes in with this last piece. So the last question I'm going to show you that we're going to work with tomorrow some more, because you're going to look at me today like I ain't going to remember them as well. Suppose that we have, let's try that again, 38.9 liters, and I want to change it to centimeters cubed. Okay, so we only have one cubed unit. So, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? Yes.
And convert liters to milliliters, and then that's basically converting it to
Yes.
centimeters cubed.
All right, when you only have one that's cubed, all right, you're going to have to use the milliliter equals centimeters cubed. All right, you have to use this. And you're going to have to figure out which one you need. So in this case, I'm asking you to go to centimeters cubed. So, a centimeters cubed is the same as a what? It's the same as a milliliter. Okay, they're one and the same. So, all you're going to do is change liters to milliliters, and you will have the answer. So, 38.9 liters. What goes on the bottom? And then we're going to milliliters on the top. Who's bigger, a liter or a milliliter? Liter. And again, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Liter is on the baseline. So how many spaces between liter and milli? So 3 zeros. Now, to calculate, we're going to have 38,900, I believe,
Yep.
milliliters. Now, technically, I want centimeters cubed, so I should write my answer as 38,900 centimeters cubed. Questions? All right, let's talk homework. You guys are doing 1 through 8. And we talked about if I check homework, I need to see some work on the piece of paper. I don't check homework every night, It's a spot check. See, get more practice. Your first quiz will be on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, you're gonna have to do a little bit of work on your own with significant digits. You've got to watch the video and learn the rules. I'll be posting it later today. All right. Did everybody get a remind paper so you can join? Sometimes I send you messages about reminding you things, or make sure you do something. Some people get bent out of shape and they're like, I didn't know I had to do that. Well, join remind and you know.